Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over Tesla, let's go over the market, and let's figure out what is happening to Tesla on a pretty painful rather day today. So as usual, let's get into it. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And of course, my membership section is live. That link is down below for just $3 a month. You get access to all my thoughts, posts, updates, intraday thoughts, technical analysis, options flow, updates, etc. Every single day the market is open. And today with my members in the morning, I was updating them and pretty much talking them right through this little breakdown that we had. Remember, we closed these two candles and I was talking about this breakdown, right? We pretty much talked about it right here as it played out. The 15 minutes coming up to retest the bounce. Bears want to reject, and it rejected, and we came down even further. I was pretty much talking to them right through it, and then we pretty much played it out right there. And then I said how I expect this to dance around 240 for most of the day, and this was posted 4 hours ago. So I was around like 12 o'clock, I think, roughly. And that's pretty much what we did. We just danced around 240 the rest of the day. So pretty much nailing these moves almost to perfection, which is great to see. But obviously there's a lot to talk about moving into next week. Next week is a major week. We have earnings coming up on Tuesday, I believe after the market close, right? It's always after market close. Yep. Pretty big day. So let's talk about what I personally expect moving into earnings. Now, I want to make it clear as a caveat, earnings is it's a wild card, right? It's a wild card, right? Technical analysis is good. It can help quite a bit, right? It's not perfect, but it can help quite a bit, right? To give you a sense of direction. But earnings can, of course, be a massive wild card, which can definitely take things to, take technical analysis and kind of throw it out the window for a day or two. That is a possibility, but I'll still give you my personal opinion as to what I think is going to happen moving into earnings and essentially post earnings, if you will. So let's talk about it. So today's a pretty wild day, right? Closing down 4% on the day, which compared to the market is obviously, pretty significant underperformance, right? Closing at 239.20, which is under 245 and even under 240. So on the 1 hour chart, right, what we have is, well, we ended up, of course, like I said, having this little situation over here, this little pennant, or some people like to view this as a potential, a diamond top, or some people are calling this a diamond top. It's something like this, right? Where you have a diamond top like this, and then, it's a top potential signal if you break out to the downside, which we obviously did. And usually the way you measure these diamond tops, if you actually want to, take them, to heart, if you will, as to, the breakdown and where you can go after that, is you take the highest point to the lowest point, measure the breakdown, and it brings us right down to pretty much $212, $213, which is pretty much right. This gap fill here, which I do think is a very real possibility. I've been talking about this for quite some time. Now, do we actually go there? I actually think we still have a very good chance of going there. Now, obviously, nobody knows if it's guaranteed, but the fact that we did break down from here is a little bit concerning, right? I want to see, I entered some bullish positions, but I'm saving quite a bit of ammo for Monday. I really want to see how the stock reacts Monday, because the way I look at it is, as long as we're within this descending channel, or in other words, technically a large bull flag, the move to the downside is still, well, the more likely move, right? And I've been saying this for quite some time, right? Ever since we were even all the way chilling up here in the 250s, right? I've been saying, as long as we're below this channel, or below the trend line, the top part of the channel, the move to the downside is the more likely move, right? That's just kind of how it goes, right? And we broke below 245, right? That's not, pretty massive candle here, and a little bit low volume, to be honest. That's a pretty good sign for bulls, but nonetheless, we did break below $245 per share, which isn't good, right? Because it takes this, it really fully even shows that the fact that this, tightness is no longer tight, and it has essentially released itself to the downside, because as we're getting tighter and tighter and tighter, this is where you eventually pick a move, right? You're kind of getting tighter. This could have been a more tight situation. We could have easily won like this. That was a possibility, but obviously we released to the downside, and we broke this tightness that we were making back over here, right? And so we essentially picked a direction. Now, losing 245-ish was that kind of, that moment in time, if you will, that, it really showed its cards, the stock, right? Now, the way I look at it is this moving forward, right? I personally, like I said, still believe that the bottom part of this bull flag, which, like I said many times, usually bull flags, you have, several touch points. You have a 1 touch point, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's usually how it goes. Sometimes what you'll have is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 you break out, right? Again, bull flags don't mean they have to break out to the north side. It's just more often than not they do. I still believe it will personally, but while we're in this channel, obviously it's still bearish. So I still think that touching the bottom part of this bull flag at least one more time, which again will be somewhere around 215, 213, maybe even 210, somewhere around the mid to low 2 teens, I still think is likely. The only way we'll get there that quickly is honestly just if we just fall after earnings. That'll be the easiest way to get there, right? If we just fall aggressively after earnings, make it a nice big scary candle, people get scared, people panic sell, whatever. And then, people may be too scared to buy the dip. They're like, okay, I want to let this settle. I want to let this settle for a little bit before I buy the dip, or, whatever, right? and then, it just rockets back up. That's personally what I expect right now. I personally expect an earnings sell-off, and then I expect it to actually get bought up pretty darn quickly as people panic sell. People, get too scared to buy, but maybe institutions and whatnot load up on that, right? And then we continue moving up, right? Because again, I want to make it very clear, there's still a lot of calls being, coming in for Tesla, right? Even today, remember a few days ago, I talked about a lot of whales coming in with 300 strike calls for September 20th. I think that was like on Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. We saw more of it today, not as big as that day, of course, but still a decent amount. About, what is this, if you count it up, maybe closer to 2 million calls coming in, 300 strike, which is, pretty decently out of the money. And only September 20th, that's not that far away, right? That's only a few months, right? That's not a crazy amount of time. So clearly some whales are unfazed by this movement, and potentially even a movement to even a little bit lower. And they're still loading up on these calls. So that's a little bit, of a positive sign for bulls. But, the fact that we're declining on lower volume is a good sign for bulls as well. So I do like that, right? Again, if I had to just take a wild guess as to how the price action will play out, I still believe that we will get a pretty sizable sell-off post-earnings, but I personally believe that should be just an opportunity and we rocket back up. Obviously, things can change. I'm not a wizard. I don't know. I'm not an oracle. I don't know anything, guaranteed. But one way to look at it, for instance, on Monday, right? On Monday, is if we lose this low right here on this candle that we had on Friday, July 12th, right? Which was about $233 roughly, right? If we lose this low, this to me will signify the fact that, yeah, you know what? Most likely we are heading down there to the mid to low 2 teens. Very good chance we are. That's a very important level to hold. And that to me, again, losing 233-ish will pretty much confirm the fact that we do move down there, right? Because again, what that risks is the fact that, well, now we're potentially going to be playing out this double top pattern right here, and then we ultimately make our way back down, which the neckline is of course sitting around that 233 level, right? So that's the way I'll be looking at it, right? If we lose 233, expect about mid to low 2 teens. As long as we hold it though, there is potential that this could be a bottom, right? There is obviously a potential, but again, MACD just flipped bearish on the daily chart. Stochastic still bearish. BX trender still bearish. Momentum is still weakening. Thankfully, the momentum is weakening on lowered volume. So even if we do get that post-earnings sell-off, I think it'll be an elevated volume. And I personally right now think it will be bought up pretty aggressively. As of right now, things can change, but I do believe that. I really do believe that. So I do believe if maybe Monday will be like a massive earnings shakeout. I don't know, but I do believe that we will get a pretty scary candle that will just shoot us down to about 212, 213, and then we rocket up from there. That's my current projection. Obviously, we'll see. Naturally, the market has been selling off pretty aggressively. Usually when the market sells off this aggressively, we get a decent rally coming up not too much longer. Like QQQ has been selling off a pretty amazing amount, right? If you look at this high over here to what we have right now, 5.5% for QQQ in about a week is a decent amount. That's not bad. That's a fair sell-off for the broader market, right? 5% for something like QQQ or SPYs, it's a fair amount, right? So if the market starts to rally, I think Tesla will rally with it, which will actually also play out this bull flag, and I think there will be a pretty decent opportunity there. So I'm very curious to see how this plays out Monday. I'm curious to see if we get that potential shakeout on Monday. Maybe something over the weekend comes out, some bearishness comes out, we get that massive sell-off into earnings. I personally will be very bullish if that happens. I love having massive sell-offs like that into earnings. I think that's just a massive bear trap personally, and I will be personally buying that dip pretty aggressively if that actually were to happen. I'm kind of hoping it happens pre-earnings personally, but we'll see. But yeah, that's kind of the main way I'm looking at it. Again, the momentum is still weak, right? I want to make it very clear. The momentum on Tesla is still weak, right? The MACD, stochastic, BX trender, they're all weak. They're all signaling slowing momentum. They're all signaling that potential move to the downside is still gonna happen. There's still more room to the downside, especially if we lose 233 and we lose this low and start potentially playing out that double top pattern. I still think it's a possibility, but again, ultimately, I want to see that fourth touch point on this bull flag. I want to see us come down to about 215 to 210, anywhere in that range. And I want to see that hold, and I want to see it rally from there. And I think that's where we'll find the base, somewhere around this low, mid to low 2 teens. 213 roughly is where I expect it, right? Anyway, that's kind of what I'm expecting right now moving forward. It's really just that simple in my opinion. I don't think it's much more complicated than that. That is my current expectations. I don't know what that was. There's some noise out there. But yeah, the main thing to look out for is the fact that there's still a lot of whales loading up on 300 strike calls moving into Tesla, right? Even have a little bit over here, right? 270 calls coming in, about 400K. We'll say, 270 calls for August 16th. Also not that far out, right? Not that far out. So we'll see if they're right. This one as well, you can see, right? This one's a little bit farther out, right? This is, of course, February 21st, 2025. But, 260 strike coming in, a lot of premium coming in. Each of these is pretty much $700,000, right? So this is quite a lot of premium coming in right here. It's like, what, maybe maybe 5 million or something like that, right? Pretty decent amount coming in here as well. So, that's pretty damn good. So we'll see if they're correct as well. They're clearly bullish, but they have a lot of time. So even if we do come down to 212, right, even if that does happen, which I personally expect it to, there's time, right? As long as Tesla comes down there and just, I personally expect it to rocket after that. I see no reason to be worried. I really don't. Now, if we start losing this bull flag and we start breaking below the bottom of this bull flag, if somehow that were to happen, essentially that would be really, honestly, if we go below $200 per share, that's where things get a little bit more concerning. And that's where this move to the upside is going to be substantially delayed, in my opinion. And well, we most likely will be basing somewhere around the, 180s, 190s once again. And most likely, honestly, go sideways for quite a while, in my opinion, before we base and hopefully move up after that. I don't think that'll happen. My current projection, like I said, I still expect us to lose to 33. I expect us to come down. I expect a massive red candle, either pre-earnings or post-earnings. And I expect it to be bought up and I expect us to rally. That's just my current projection. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. I think I'll be right. But obviously, we never know. We never know. I'm not an oracle. I don't know everything. I wish I did. I really do. But that's my current projection. So we'll see if that plays out. And thank you so much for watching. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. But with all that being said and done, I'll see you all on Monday. Peace.